This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
With the top end of Stevenson, Greeno!
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden and let's welcome the squad. First, a man who's more up and down about Neil Lennon than an elevator. It is the shaved face of Chris Toll. How's it going, Toll?
Alright, mate. Alright, aye.
Hey, what's going on? Last week you were like pure Sons of Anarchy, man. What's happening?
I know, do you know what? I says to myself, right, I need to tidy this up a wee bit because it was all that fluffy way, you know what I mean?
No, you keep that, it's good.
And then I've went a wee bit too far down and then I've tried to even it up on the other side, and then it's went to fuck, man. I've ended, see like the advert where the guy's using the one blade, and it shows you them in all different sections. That's what I was like, man. Honest to God, I was like an advert for a terrible fucking barber.
Mate, it looked brilliant last week, you know, man. It was pure coming out the boat, man. I liked it, man. Oh well, we'll go back in, mate.
I just shaved last night and all, man. I had it for about 3 weeks. I looked absolutely mock it, so I had to go, man. I had to go.
And now let's welcome back to the podcast after his annual leave. He is recording straight from a beach in Jamaica, and he is now known as the dog burglar of Stevenson. It is Graham Stevely.
Oh, they're still going on about that dog hang, man. I've told that story about umpteen.
But mate, that's the greatest story ever. You don't need to tell it again. We can just keep mentioning it, but
I will keep mentioning it like Jerry Polini.
What did you
mileage out of that, didn't we?
What did you say on the podcast? Did you tell exactly what happened?
We played the clip and all that.
You're arseholes.
No, it wasn't us. Producer John said they got permission for you to there.
Actually, wait a minute, Grado, hold on a minute. In fact, right, because I said to John, Stevie, you'll back me up here, and this will be in the recording as well. I said to John, you better ask Grado before you play that. And he said, he's all right with it.
And he's talking shite. He never asked me. See this boy? He's...
No. That Chris Toll did say that, and then I said, I think Grado will be all right with it, but ask him first. And John says, I will ask him.
Honestly, you don't even know what you're saying on half these podcasts, and I don't listen to it back. So I could be, what do you call that? I could be soliciting myself. What do you say?
Incriminating
myself. I could be incriminating myself.
You're going to be fuck him. You're just a big fucking... You're a big fuck. You throw a big shit at you.
I'm a big mess.
A big hang it.
Everything's just... I just feel like shit this week, man. Everything's just... Should be...
No, hey, don't. We spoke about this. He's a bit...
Oh, I know, but it's just... And another thing I know, I've started watching Sopranos, so I can't turn that off now.
Oh, you jammy bastard. Is this the first time?
It's the first time, mate. Well,
mate, I would give anything to be watching Sopranos for the first time, man.
So I started watching it in 2010. I didn't think much yet. I watched the first couple of episodes. But I think you must mature as you grow older and what's better and stuff like that, because... No, I love it. The only thing I took for it the first time was the way he was eating, and I love the way Tony Soprano ate his pasta. The way he hung with his spot.
Mate, you should listen to Talking Sopranos or all, man, while you're watching.
I'm on it, mate.
Do you know, I watched a documentary about the food of the Sopranos once.
You can't watch that with a diet, you're fucked.
There's at least two scenes in nearly every episode where they're sitting down to a meal.
Do you know what I love, man, when he's been out all night and he just comes in at like fucking 6 in the morning, gets in the fridge, pulls out a big packet of cold meat and all that and starts eating it, and a bowl of pasta that Carmela puts in the fucking... After he's just been to his gourmet, he comes home and his wife is fucking putting a cold bowl of pasta in the microwave for him. What a life!
Oh, I know.
Know that I'm condoning that kind of stuff.
I was going off my nut when she made pasta for the priest. She made pasta for the priest.
He's a fucking wee arsehole.
And she put it in the bin, man. She put it in the bin.
He's a leech. He's a fucking leech. He scrounges after him. He watches Tony's telly. He eats Tony's food.
He does. No, he wants all the girlfriend things. He wants all the wife things, and he doesn't want the part that Tony wants. So it's like, it works out a wee bit for the both of them.
He wants the thrill of being with a bird, and then when it comes to the crunch, he can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
See the episode where he gives her communion, and remember it's pissing down and he can't go home.
There's something erotic about it, but it's pure erotic, man. Do you know what I mean?
I'm saying it's not my proudest wank.
Hey, a wank's a wank. Yeah, do you know what? We should go on Toll's other podcast and talk about this. The movie podcast.
Absolutely.
Right, let's get back to Scottish football. We are recording the show ahead of the big Scotland game tonight, so when you hear this, we'll either be in the Euros or again it'll be the old classic, it's shite being Scottish. What do you think, boys? What do you think?
Oh, it's better news today. Their main striker's out.
Hey, we've got to win. Want to know how? I was talking to you together this morning.
Fuck off, you were talking.
Wait, did you bump into the post office in Stevenson or something?
No.
Down at the Cove with Simon Ferry.
Literally. By the way, man, he was a bit... he was crabbit. He was crabbit. We got him on the radio, and he was giving it, your line is scrambled, This is a bit... Come on, is your line scrambled? And because we were giving it all that, in 1996 with Gary McAllister and all that, you went to do us a favour. And he was dead crabbit moaning about the phone line. I'm giving it, well, you can't be much of a magician if you can't fix this phone line. And then eventually...
I'm sure that would have helped his mood.
then we lost him.
Oh my God!
But he sent us a nice wee WhatsApp voice note. So, as I say, that's me.
No, did you lose him, or is it because you're slagging him saying you can't be that magic? He just thought, fuck this.
He hung up and then he just had to record a wee kind of voice note thing for us. And I was trying to be funny. I says, next time we'll just stick to next time talking to Tom Urie. Right,
Kimmy. Right, so, right. That's pissed. Right. Can we get back to the whole? You said we're going to win the night because I was talking to Uri Geller. Then you just told us a big story about Uri and no said why we're going to win the night.
Oh no, because he said he was going to put a potion on fucking Serbia or whatever.
A potion?
He's got to put
a spell.
A spell. He was going to do something for Serbia.
Yeah,
so.
Is he fucking Gandalf?
Well, he's
going to put a potion.
He was talking about his big regret and all that. He said it was very unethical what I'd done to Gary McAllister.
About the ball moving?
Aye.
Fuck. But what do you think, boys? Right, I felt like an absolute paraffin lamp this morning, right? I went to the Co, then I went into the Co, got my groceries I needed, right, for dinner and all that the night. And then I went back out and had to sit in the car park for 15 minutes because they don't sell bevy at 10 o'clock. But I thought once I get in the house, I'm not going back out because after the podcast I want to chill. I'm going to have a couple of beers watching the game tonight. The first Scotland game in a long time I'm quite excited about.
We're glory hunters, mate. I'm the same.
Aye. Mate, I'm not denying I'm coming out to fucking with work. I'm sitting there the night. I'm watching that game. I'm cheering them on. But I'm not going to say I'm Scotland daft, but I want them to get to a big tournament.
Aye, I mean, I'm not going to lose sleep if we get bait or we don't qualify, but I want them to qualify, man, because we speak about this every week. We need something else to kind of G's up, man. Bring us all together for a change.
Definitely.
What do you think, Toll? Do you ever go to do
it? Do you know, I've got a fucking sneaky feeling that I'm going to do it, and I've got a sneaky feeling that it's going to be the Griffiths that fucking does the business. I've just got know that way you said, Grado, when he's like you said Griffiths is going to come on and score.
Mm-hmm.
I've got that happened. I've got that fucking feeling, man. Honestly.
Well, Ryan Fraser's out, isn't he? So Griffiths will start up front with Dykes.
I don't know, mate. I think yesterday they were saying that Griffiths won't be in the start lineup.
Right,
I think it's the 85th minute substitute written all over it, man. Bang.
And the big fucking penalty taking fucking king for Crystal Palace is out, isn't he?
He's got COVID, isn't he?
He's got COVID.
What'd you call him,
Milankovic-Savic is in, but he get let out the country because there was a lot of Serbian based. No, there was a lot of Serbian based.
I know they couldn't get out. Aye,
and they went out of the country.
What was the deal with that? So I don't get it. So they all play in Italy, and you can't fly for Italy.
Italy are on lockdown now. They've stopped flights or something going out of the country.
Right.
I don't know. I might just be making that up, to be honest with you, but I think that's what it was.
No, I think it is something along your lines, mate. I think you're right. I think it is that. So I think, but if they gave him preferential treatment, that he can get out.
They've gave pretty much all the Serbian players preferential treatment, and they're allowed to leave. But the guy that's out now, I think he's either injured or he's maybe tested positive or he's having a quarantine or something.
He's tested positive. He delivered a positive test when he got to the camp, and then he had another one a couple of days later. So he's out.
He's out.
That was the voice of this week's producer, Ryan Gallagher. There we are,
Nice
Ryan.
back.
Welcome back, Ryan. I should have said something at the start. Sorry, mate. How you
No,
doing, mate?
sorry. I'm all right.
No, mate, that's quite ignorant. I feel bad now. You all right, mate?
I'm fine.
Aye.
Would you think the score will be, Ryan?
I don't know. Mate, I'm actually the same. I'm a bit of a glory hunter. I said that maybe 3 or 4 games ago, watching Scotland, I think it was one of the Israel games, when it was just totally dull. I actually went, I'm done with Scotland, man. I'm completely done. Sunday, wake me up when we get to a tournament. Now it's got to it. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm absolutely buzzing. We even have a Scotland tap on and everything.
I get it.
But
We'll be coming.
Scotland!
We'll be coming.
On Rangers Daft all night, we were ripping the fucking James Blunt out of John with me at the end of the show, man.
We could just imagine the Scotland game, man, with the Jimmy hat on and all that.
Aye.
The tartan scarf going, come on!
Come on, Scotland, these fucking haddies. Come on.
Tra-la-la, tra-la-la.
Come on, get me these Serbian bastards.
Come on, Griffiths! Come on, Griffiths!
Oh, you fucking second touch is a tackle, Griffiths, for fuck's sake.
John, I think this is the real reason why John's off the day, man.
That's what I said, man. He's on a Zoom call with all his pals, you know, and they're sitting with Scotch pies and bovrils and they build up to the game. They're scarves on.
Butter on Deacon Blue and all that, man. I would walk 500.
Come on, Archie!
Oh,
It's going to be funny. This podcast get out tomorrow, man. See if we get beat.
Exactly.
John jumped about his living room, man.
He's got the Fratellis playing in his back room.
Waking up like a fucking Scottish version of The Hangover tomorrow morning, his pals still on Zoom and all that.
Kevin Harper.
Sitting there fucking
playing the piano in the corner.
His dog's trying to lick a tattoo off his head and all that. He's little shit in his head there.
What happened?
Archie, you still there? What happened? It's not distorted, I can't.
Open the cupboard, Charlie Mulgrew's Wayne sitting in it.
Right.
Edgy, I like it.
Right, troops. Honestly, like, good luck to Scotland tonight. Hope they get a result. I want to. The last time I watched a Scotland game, I sat and watched it with my dad when I came from school. I'd like to sit and watch it with my boy when he comes in from school. It's been that long.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful sentiment.
We shall see.
But he'll not be in his bed for school tomorrow when the game starts.
Probably. But let's reflect on Scottish football this week. Producer Ryan and Chris Toll. I'm sorry, but we need to start the old Sparta Prague game. What happened?
Oh, fucking hell.
See how we've just brought the tone right down now.
Honestly, God, man. I love that at Scotland, but no, mate, it was embarrassing, Stevie. It was fucking dreadful, man.
I watched it, mate. I watched it after the Rangers Benfica game, and that's the first I'd seen Celtic since we played them at Parkhead, since Rangers played them, and I was shocked.
An even worse
So it was.
But see, the thing I see in the first 15-20 minutes, like I says to you on the group chat, Sparta looked so fucking ragged, and they were giving the ball away at every turn and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, Celtic are going to run over the fucking top. If Celtic get one here, they'll get about 5. And then it just changed.
But mate, honestly, man, I was sitting and watched it. See, as soon as you said that, Sparta could have been about 3-0 up after you said that. The chances had hitting the bar, the header down that Bain, when they headered the ball down and Bain's right at the bar. Mate, and the boy, was it number 7 that set up the 4th goal or something? He was tearing his a new fucking arsehole,
he was excellent, wasn't he? He was brilliant, that guy.
I just think last Thursday was it was a...
Oh, mate, do your speech for Rangers Daft.
No, it was just... I can't remember what I said, Bob, honestly, but I just remember how I feel last Thursday. It was just a superb night of TV. You know, that way I watched the Rangers game was so entertaining, even though, you know, when they scored in the last kick of the ball, the last minute, and it did feel like a defeat, you know, that happened. And
by the way, you could have been 5 up at one point in that game, man.
As Bob says, we did smell blood and we should have, I don't know. Anyway, you know, that happens, and then I turn on the Celtic game, and then total entertainment as a fan of the opposite team. No, not just that, but all the shenanigans.
Yeah, big fan of Sparta guy, mate. Get too many games. Get too many games. Who's your favourite player?
The electrician that's got the hat trick. And you know that, and she just started carrying on, well, you know, saying Sutton, Bury and Griffiths, and then the phone, and then Emma Dodd's having the buzz to ask about the phone thing, man. I was just sitting there going, I don't want this to get off. I just want to watch this all night. It was super.
Right, I'll tell you what, right, it is entertaining, but that was a fucking complete and utter character assassination for Sutton.
It was mental, wasn't it?
It was out of order. Like, I said this on Celtic
You say
Daft,
every week, mate.
Right, no, but I said this on Celtic Daft. I've never said what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Right? I said it in Celtic Daft. See if somebody said that about a woman on the telly, they'd never work in fucking television again.
That is true.
No, but, right, no, I don't agree with you, Tol. I don't agree, right? The boy gets paid a handsome wage to be a professional athlete. So see if he's not in shape and he's getting paid X amounts of fucking pounds, how long has he been trying to get fit? I totally agree with Sutton. How long does it take you to get fit?
Stevie, see the way you've said it. That's the way Sutton should have been saying it. It's not what he said, it's the wording that he used. Well, technically that is what he said.
You're so offended, didn't you? The
no,
wording
it's not
that he used.
What I'm saying is it's not, like I said, see if a talk show host had said, or like to one of their guests, or you're an athlete, you're looking a bit fat. Do you know what I mean? They'd never do it again. See, you wouldn't see fucking Graham Norton or that doing that to somebody.
But Tol, I don't know. I think I agreed with you at the start, but the minute I think about it, I think this is your issue. You wouldn't hear somebody else saying that. You would have probably said the thing yourself. It's just because it's been aired on the telly. I feel as if you're going out your way to be offended by this. A day.
I can understand what you're saying, but my point's valid.
I must admit, I agree with Chris, though. You know, like, as much as we're sort of saying. So what sort of?
Fuck me, man! I fell off my chair. I was shocked there.
Well, I'm not going to agree with you two.
How can an ex-player who done such a good job for Celtic no come out and slag a current player who is definitely out of shape? He's no fit. He's had so many fucking chances off Lennon. He's been gave so many chances off Rodgers. He's been gave so many chances off Celtic. Still can't get himself fit and still can't perform, and he gets paid a healthy wage. How is Sutton out of order there?
Because the problem that I had with Sutton going for him is, see, after watching the game, after watching the overall team performance, he went for the one guy who, for me, watching the game, came on, showed a bit of heart, bit of fight, bit of spirit.
He was asked, but Daniel Curry asked him about Griffiths, and I don't think you can argue with what Sutton's. What his assessment of where Griffiths is at the now?
I think Sutton's assessment of where Griffiths is at the now is pretty much everybody's assessment, Stevie. It's not that. It's the language that he used, and it was like a personal attack. The way that you can do it, you can go like that. Griffiths.
You just sound like somebody for a phone in there.
Shut up, man.
You did. I don't want you.
Listen, you on about you fucking were agreeing with me to start until your pal joined in.
I know. You know what? No, listen, Tol, you can say that, right? But here's the deal. Bob's just explained it to me in a better way than what you did, and now I've changed the way I feel. All
right, okay.
But I think you'll change the way you feel as well.
No, I agree. I agree with what Sutton was saying. What I'm saying is there's ways to go about it. I agreed with you that
if he said it about a woman, it would
be... Right, here. I'm going to ask Tol and Ryan a quick question, then we'll move on for this, right? I just want to ask you, what words did Sutton use that offended you?
Every fucking thing that came out of his mouth.
You need to be specific.
It's not specific words, because the specific words that he used did summarise what we all think. You know, Griffiths, he's not been in shape. He's not been kind of firing all cylinders this season, and that's fine. Totally accept that. But it was the way that after watching that game, he was the one guy that he went for. He kept going, and you're like, right, get off his back. Like,
Ryan, I understand what you're saying, right, but Matt, what in the back of my mind as well is, which I think has pissed me off about it, Sutton's deflecting away for Lennon's shortfalls that night in particular, right? At no point does he criticise Lennon, at no point, right? And you're starting to see all these ex-Celtic players coming out. You've got fucking Petrov, you've got Lambert, you've got Sutton, and they're all El Yunusi, it's fucking Griffiths, it's everybody apart from Lennon. So
right. So see a couple of weeks ago, you were on this show saying Rangers players are looking to the touchline and they see Gerrard, an athlete, and you're saying Celtic players are looking to the touchline and they see a guy who looks overweight and doesn't look right. How's that different from what Sutton said about Griffiths? You're just assassinating.
Well, wait a minute.
You've said Lennon's looked overweight. He's not looked right.
What I said was his body language was wrong. I never said he was overweight.
You've said.
Listen, I'm not in any sort of position to be sitting talking about anybody being overweight. All right, so I would never say that. What I'm saying is, right, and plus Neil Lennon is not. All right, he's a manager, but he's not a professional athlete. So they were
exactly who should be right. A professional athlete. That's my point. A professional athlete should be in shape and should be ready to put his boots on and go out and be fit.
That's what you're not getting, right? I agree with what Sutton said. It's just the way he went about it.
But I'm asking you, what did they say? What words he used? Offended you?
It was as if it was fucking. It was his face and his fucking everything about him. It was pure venom, and it was to deflect. It was to deflect. Watch it back again if you can, right?
Oh, I've watched it a million times. Don't worry. I know what it did.
Fucking. And by the way, apparently Lee Griffiths fucking got a hold of him after it.
No,
come here.
He phoned him apparently.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but he's quite right because do you know what?
Mate, something that just ran and Griffiths wouldn't have caught him.
Mate, I'm telling you, man, this ever since the Rangers are Celtic doing well, man, it's been getting pointless on these podcasts, man. This is.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. We're all here for it.
Good entertainment.
Right, honestly, right.
It's no poisonous about me, so you know what I mean.
And Rangers.
You missed my big angry drink there, Greg.
I didn't miss it, mate. I didn't know what to stop you there while you were working on.
Should have seen his face. Honestly, watch it back. Should have seen his face. Should have seen his face. Anyway, we know what I think.
Hey, that was good, man. That was funny.
Right, Rangers 8-0 victory over Hamilton. That was nice. Watched on my big projector, which I want to talk about. In the
we're not going to talk about Rangers in Europe, no.
We can talk about that as well. I talk about that.
That's a good shame.
Let's talk about Rangers in Europe.
Taking coefficient as usual. So we'll talk about
that. By the way, absolutely, and I mentioned that on Celtic Daft. The words were thank fuck for Rangers because if they keep going well, then we won't lose this Champions League spot. That's honestly God, I said that right. But I thought Rangers' performance was excellent last week. I thought they were brilliant. Right, it doesn't help Benfica when your man gets sent off, but it's borderline, isn't it? But I think he has got to go. But Rangers done everything that they could after that. They went hell for leather against them, and like I said earlier on, it could have been at one point you could have been 5-1 up, and the game would have been cut and dried. But it's just you kind of suffered for what Celtic have been suffering with. It just the wee tiny lapses in defensive concentration, man. And
Hollander just had a fucking nightmare. Hollander had a horrible night.
And I think Arfield should have kind of calmed down. That was the total wrong time to be trying to get it forward to Morelos. And it's weird because as soon as he does that, man, 2 minutes come up on the board and you're thinking, I was sitting there thinking at least 3-4. And you're like, 2 minutes, come on, we can hold on 2 minutes. As soon as the board went up, they put the ball in the back of the net, man. It felt like a defeat, but
it did.
It was kind of the same as what happened with us in France. But anyway, it's see when the draw was made and somebody would go like that to you, we'll give you a draw in Lisbon. You'd a bit of hand off for it, right? But I can understand what you mean. Because you've been 2 goals up. I still think that performance in France by Celtic was a really good performance, even though we gave away the 2 goals. Would we have took a draw before the game? We would also. I think he's kind of need to look at the positives. I think he'll do them at Ibrox. So I do.
I don't know, man.
man.
That's gave them mega confidence that I don't know. I think it's the other way about too. I think that'll definitely be our hardest game.
See, the thing, if the way I was looking at it, the first 5-10 minutes, it was like when we played Leverkusen, I thought we're going to get absolutely fucking annihilated here. We're going to get cuffed. Then they get the man sent off. But the way we played when they went down to 10 men is the best I've ever seen us playing under Gerrard at times. Some of the football was unbelievable. And when Kent hit the post, you're going, that should have been 4-1. There was a chance before that and it could have been 5-1. But like Grado says, when 2 minutes goes up, you're going, right, 2 minutes. I thought it would have been 3 or 4. You're going, let's get this over the line. Morelos is breathing out his arse. Arfield tries to play him in. When all you need to do is check out it, start again, keep the ball up the road, 3 points, and you'll be fucking top of the group. But you would have took it beforehand. But when they come to Ibrox, it's going to be a different fucking animal, I think, man. Because they're a good team. They're a very good team.
They did look tidy at times, like really tidy at times, and they've got a couple of players that you can tell are just that wee bit above the rest of them, you know what I mean?
Aye.
If he's can temper them, then I don't see any reason why he's kind of get a good result out of this one at all.
I think we beat Liège at Ibrox. Poznan, getting to Poznan will be a hard game, but I think if we beat Liège at Ibrox and then try to get something to Benfica, we're through.
Well, even at that, if you get a decent result at Benfica and you beat Standard Liège, then I think he'll win the group.
Possibly, mate. Possibly. We'll see. But weekends football, good result for you at Fir Park, mate. Scooshed it.
It was. Do you know what? I was night shift the night before and I missed the game. So I had to sit and watch it all back. And see when you know the score and you're sitting watching it.
Satisfying sitting watching it.
Oh, it's so much easier. You've not got that fucking tightness in your body and all that. But a great response by El Yunusi, a great response by the team as well. And 4 goals at Motherwell's a decent haul, especially the way they've been playing.
Aye, definitely, man. Definitely.
No, 8 goals, right enough, is it?
Do you know something, man? I think Grado said it the other night, man. I actually felt sorry for Hamilton. I did. Felt sorry for him.
No, for Hamilton. I felt sorry for Brian Rice.
Oh, Brian Rice.
Like aye. I do like listening to him. And then, did they get beat last night? Did they not? They get beat up.
Stranraer put him at the cup.
Aye, man.
Which is, funnily enough, it's a good topic that thank fuck they won last night. But I mean,
exactly. Aye, the guest we've got today, man. No, but the weekend, man, again, Tavernier is playing the fucking best football he's probably ever going to play in his life. The team was good. Jack get rested at half time. We rested Steve Davis. Zungu get his debut where Grado was purring over.
Oh, man, I thought he was shit
debut, didn't you, mate?
That first 90 seconds, man, he looks different class. But we were due to batter a team. And, but do you know that way, like, even before the Hamilton game, every game is like a cup final. I still had mega butterflies in my stomach, even for the Hamilton at home. That's just the way it's going to be until the end of the season. But it was tremendous, man.
Right, so on the show today, we've got a man who's been everywhere in football. He's played at Rangers, Falkirk, Hull, Hartlepool, Swansea, Bristol Rovers, Carlisle, Hibs, Cheltenham, Sagok. What the fuck's that? Sagokar and Mohan Bagan in India. St Mirren, Airdrie, Jesus Christ, still in Albion, and he now plies his trade with Stranraer and scored a goal last night. It is Darryl Duffy. What a CV that is, isn't it?
No half, man. No half. That is genuinely Jim Hamilton material, isn't it?
I take it John set this one up then because he played with Falkirk then.
Aye. Right, okay. The Football Daft Open-line is back as we invite you on to the show to speak to our expert panel. Or you might just need to speak to me, Grado, and Chris, and Ryan. You can maybe chip in as well. Is that right?
That's fine.
There we go, man. You might want to talk about the Hearts documentary on the BBC. I want to talk about that.
Brilliant.
Or get Grado to try and steal a dog. And Alex from TradeMate Sports has some top tips for bookie bashing this weekend. And on the big question we ask, what jobs should footballers do after their careers are over?
Right, well, she's back to a vengeance. It's Nicole for G4 Claims to tell us all about what the guys over there do. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
Good, it's good to see you.
Living the dream, Nicole, living the dream.
Oh, of course, yes. Same here.
Oh, good, man. So you've been busy, then?
Aye, we've been kept.
Your shit smelled
going,
top, man.
kept going.
What time you on
Oh,
it?
you bastard, that was
What
going to
time
say
you
that.
finish, right? I'm not your taxi driver.
Oh, man. It's because we done all the small talk now we started doing the bit, man. It's all fucking gone, man.
I tell you what, Nicole, see if you were a taxi driver and we were in an accident on the way home, what would you do?
Well, immediately I would get you all signed up with G4 claims.
How can they help us?
And so G4 Claims is a non-fault accident management company. So why would you contact your own insurance? Why would you risk a mark getting put against your own policy? Whether it's temporary or not, it will affect your policy. Why would you risk having to pay your excess up front and waiting your insurance sending it back? You know, who has £500, £1,000 excess sitting about? Not a lot of people, so you don't want to be doing that. If an accident is not your fault, you want to be using the third-party insurance direct. So that's the person who's caused the accident. It should be their insurance picking up the bill, and we can handle that for you. So we'll provide you a like-for-like replacement hire vehicle whilst your car's off the road. We'll get your car repaired at an approved body shop of your choice, or of your choice if you don't have one. If your car is written off, we will get an independent engineer to value your car so that you're happy with the value and you're not left in any debt or negative equity, and we'll get that recovered from the third-party insurance for you. If you have a sore neck, sore back, any sort of injuries from the accident, we'll get you all signed up for your whiplash claim as well. And everything we do is totally free to go. We bill everything to the at-fault insurance. Also, we'll never waste your time. So if you think that, you know, is an accident my fault, is it not? Phone us in and ask the question. You know, we'll tell you what's right and wrong. We'll guide you in the right direction. Don't think for a minute that because someone at the scene of an accident's told you you're at fault, then you're at fault, because that isn't always the case. So make sure if you're in an accident, phone us first, because if we can help you, we will. G4 Claims, not at fault claims, made easy.
Made easy.
Made easy.
Right, welcome to the Football Daft Open-line, where anything goes. This is the part of the show where we give you the chance to ask our panel anything you want. You can come on, you can talk football, you can talk damn Spraggins, talk about Chelsea at Bob, and his plans to win Kimback in River City. I don't know what that is, but we'll go with it. As usual, we've got a panel of football experts. I use that term very, very loosely. First up, Stephen Keevans. How you doing, mate?
I'll take that. I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm looking forward to whatever gets flung my way.
And you're joined by Chris Delahunt.
Yes.
and I wonder if you like this one. Graham Sutton. How you doing, Graham?
You guys, huh? Come on.
Hey.
Anyway, I want to know, Kim's the murderer, Kim's the murderer. Cool.
No, I can neither confirm or deny.
You can't ask him that. You can't ask him that.
You can cock tease me there with the Kim stuff, so I'm wanted to because the
Cock
fans might
tease
want
with
that
Kim.
anyway.
Right. So, boys, let's get to our first caller then. So, first up is Jack Graham. He's a Rangers fan and he's got a question about Rangers centre halves.
Can you put your video on if you want, mate?
Hang on.
Yeah,
How we doing?
How's
Shane Murray.
How's things,
How you
mate?
doing?
I do not bad, man, yourself.
Good, mate. Good.
Where do you live?
I stay down there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you get him there?
Aye, mate. Aye, best pals.
You done there?
I like that wee scarf in the background there, Jack.
What are you saying?
It's a nice wee scarf in the background there, mate. I like it.
Oh, I've got one, I've got two.
Oh, nice, mate. Nice.
This is why we need to start going back to the studio, man, because he's gone that and I'm going, do you go to Elliot's for your dinner? And I just think, I can't listen to that. They'll go, listen to that Dafty, try to ask him where he goes for his dinner and all that. Just pure sitting there going, do you go to Elliot's?
Yeah, Elliot's is class, to be fair.
As man, innit? It's good.
Tell me about this Elliot. I want to know more about Elliot.
It's good, man, but I don't want to get Elliot's in trouble, but they were in the paper last week for something quite... in fact, cut that, because
let's not talk about that, fuck's sake. I don't want to get him in trouble, but I'm going to.
Right,
Don't
so
want to get him in trouble, but Salmonella, Walty Wall, Salmonella.
Right, Jack, you've got a question about Rangers centre halves.
Aye, mate. Obviously, it's Goldson's kind of been the kind of standard. He's always going to be your first one in for starting 11, and the rotation has been between Balogun and Hollander. But my question is, the forgotten man, Katic, how is he ever going to work his way back in when Balogun's kind of outperformed the expectations, so to speak, and Hollander's playing so well?
It's a tough one. I mean, obviously, Katic, with the injury go, first and foremost, you just don't know what a player's going to be like coming back for injury in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So we're lucky we've got Hollander there. We've got Balogun, both of them are, like you say, they've exceeded expectations, and Goldson is the mainstay. He's the glue that holds the defence together this season, but it looks at. But I still think Katic is young. He's last season, I think he exceeded expectations as well when he first signed for Rangers. So if you can get him back fit, it's a good problem to have, but he's going to have to be really on his game to get a place ahead of any referee. Do you know what I mean? What do you think, Grado?
I think the exact same. Katic is young, but look, I feel comfortable in every position just now. It's great. We've got a couple of good players for each position, so it is a good worry to have. But I'm gutted for Katic. Do you know what I mean? I really am. But I'm thinking that he probably wouldn't have featured anyway. The more I think about it with the Usink, I don't know. I think he would.
I think he would have. I just don't think we would have signed Balogun. I don't think we would have signed Balogun if Katic was fit. Do you know
Balogun is great to have for the experience that he's got, and he spoke about it in interviews. I think he'll be like a right kind of Davy Weir type of mentor to the centre halves. So,
definitely, man. I mean, it's like you say, man. It's a good problem to have. But Katic, I mean, you even seen like his posts on Instagram and stuff. He was in some shape at the start of the season. He was looking like an absolute machine. Do you know what I mean? But it's a shame what happened. But I don't know, mate. It's a good problem to have.
He just needs to stay off the what do you call it? The gas. Katic. He needs to stay. He's gas to the gills, according to Celtic fans. Know what I mean?
Yes.
I've got no fucking idea what you're talking about.
You never heard of this,
is he a tank now?
He did. He come back for pre-season and he was massive for the gym. But I'm taking a piss out of the Celtic fans. Saying
is he like fans saying he was on the gear? Right, okay. Right, I'm sorry, mate. I didn't need to pick you up. I'm like, is he buzz gas or something? Fucking hell.
No, I was using wrestling terms there, mate.
I know, mate. I don't know how I've no fucking picked it up.
I've done it for you, mate.
There has been a lot of signatures in the petition this week to get us all tested, so you never know, what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. But Jack, cheers, mate. Thank you, bud.
Thank you, pal.
Hi, thanks. See you
Cheers.
later on.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, mate. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Right, next up, we've got Jimmy. He wants to ask a question about Scotland.
Oh, it's me, Jimmy!
Hey, it's me, Jimmy!
The second. Who do you say? Who's it? So this is the two little people of professional wrestling in Scotland, isn't it? Two.
Well, me and Jimmy.
Right, what can I say
Jimmy,
here?
how you doing? Have you recovered?
This is brilliant, man.
Have you recovered for a bit at you in the boys and took the hardcore belt off you, my man?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Aye, did you? I never. There we go. Never forget, bro.
Jimmy, how's it going?
I'm not bad, sir. How's your still good, though?
I've it's been a long time since I've bumped into you because obviously the wrestling shows are off just now. It's a bit of a shame, but I've got you on Facebook. I'm sure you said you had interviews for Jobs last week. How did you go on?
Oh, I got knocked back.
Banned it, big man. That's a shame, Jim. But how's everything else?
I am doing fine.
Good to see you, mate. What's your question today about Scotland?
Right, where and when? I'll try that again. Where and what were you doing the last time you were in the World Cup?
That's a great question.
I was at
That's
school.
a great question.
I walked home from school early and sat and watched Scotland v Brazil with my dad. John Collins scored the penalty. Me and my dad were buzzing. Then we lost a goal after it. But I just at school, mate. That's how long ago it was.
Do you know what? I can remember that day clear as day. Wednesday, the 10th of June, 1998. I remember there was a Scotland flag in the air. I don't know if a plane managed to do it or whatever, but they put the St Andrew's Cross up in the sky. I remember going down to the club watching it with all my family, and the streets were empty because I remember at half time, I was hungry and my mum gave me £1 to go for a bag of chips. And there was no motors in the street, absolutely nothing. The chip shop was empty. The only reason why the chip shop was open was because the guy that ran it was Italian, and that was the only reason why he was open. So I do remember it, man. It was brilliant. I loved it. I've great memories of
I
it.
can't remember. Sorry, mate.
I heard that the Chippy was closed the next day when Italy played Serbia in their opening group match.
You remember that?
I was just going to say, I can't remember the last time Grado answered a question and didn't mention a Chippy.
I've got a story pretty much the same as yours, Stevie. I left school early, but I think they let us away early.
I
think they let everybody away early. And my school was at the top of my house, so we've all got our Scotland tops on in school that day as well. They allowed us to wear our Scotland tops into school. So down the road, all my pals came to my house and we watched the game in my house. And do you remember when we took the lead? We took the lead, and it's we're fucking winning this whole tournament. We're beating Brazil, and then Tom Boyd goes and fucking puts an OG in, doesn't he?
Aye.
What a day that was, man.
Do you remember it, Jimmy?
Was that?
Do you remember it, Jimmy?
I think I was 14.
Right.
And I had football for PE, and we were trying to get away early, but our teacher wasn't for having it.
Oh,
that's
a shame. That's a shame.
That's a shame.
So, Jing, we're going to do it tonight then, Jimmy?
I fucking hope so.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Anyway,
Jimmy, good to see you, pal.
Good to see you, mate.
All the best, mate.
You too. Cheers.
Cheers,
Jimmy. Bye.
Bye. Bud.
Bye.
Right, and our last caller today is Ross McLeod. He's a Rangers fan and he's got questions about both the Celtic and Rangers managers.
All right, Ross, what's happening?
All right, man.
How you doing, Ross?
How's things? Did you get the retro taps?
Is that the goalie one?
Would you call it? Ryan was at mine watching the wrestling all night, and I went, see the old boot that does night shifts? She's a nurse next door. She got my Rangers tap while I was out. What do you call it, at the shops? Didn't want to wake her. She's on night shift for the next 3 days, so I had to wait 3 days to get my tap off her.
Oh, you're joking, man.
What?
You're joking. So are you talking about Ryan up there? Ryan Hingley? Is that you, Ryan? You're talking about, right, you use pals?
Aye.
I wouldn't say pals.
Wait a minute, where the fuck what jersey is that? Let me see that jersey.
It's the new retro ones.
So Castori have actually brought out retro Rangers jerseys.
They're throwing everything at us too. They're throwing everything. I know.
That's actually not that bad. It's quite a nice shirt, right enough.
That is nice. I think they're doing everything that they can to like get their respect back up just because of that carry on at the start of the year. It feels as if they're just throwing everything at us, isn't they, Bob?
Aye, they're nice though.
There's there's a cracking Wayne's jacket that's superb, man, but you can't get it. It's an adult. You can't get it for an adult size. But anyway, how are you doing, Ross?
That's because it's a Fruity the Loom number.
Is that all your retro traps, Chris?
Aye, I love these shits, mate. Honestly, I'm down with them. You could spit through some of them, but I love the fuckers.
Right, so Ross, you've got two questions then. Go with your first one.
Don't ask me a dead fit my question, mate. I can't be asked.
No, it's simple enough. So it's basically just about both managers on both sides of the old firm. Obviously, we've seen Lennon come under a bit of fire. Do you think, win or lose, Lennon will be there next season? And do you think Gerrard would still be there this season if this last season wasn't cut off because of COVID?
I'll take any Lennon one. I think that this is Lennon's last season at Celtic, regardless of what happens. I think that the pressure's getting to him, and I think he'll do his famous cut and run that he does anytime he's anywhere. So I think this will be the last season that we'll see Lennon as the Celtic manager. And to be honest with you, it can't come fucking quick enough for me now, Ross.
I think... Sorry, on you
go. Sorry, on you go, mate. If you're finished Celtic thing.
I was just thinking, he's Lawl's man. Obviously, he was hired after the cup final. It's a sort of thing. If Celtic get the 10, he can say, right, I was proved right. I can get him out. Mm-hmm. No embarrassment to me. And if they don't get the 10, then he'll not be there because the sports won't allow it.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. He's in a no-lose situation if he leaves this season. Right? And that's the way I see it. You know what I mean?
Your other question about Gerrard. Do you think Gerrard would have? Would he still be here if we managed to finish the season and no win the league? Is that what you mean?
Aye, just because obviously we did have a game on and we did have 2 games against Celtic, so you know the gap could have went down, you know, I think we all accepted Celtic were winning the league once it went 13 clear. But do you think, if Celtic went 20 points clear, maybe, do you think Gerrard would have got the boot?
What do you think, Bob? I don't think he would have. I don't want to because
I think his money's in the bank with what he's done in Europe with his last season. I think if we don't win a trophy this season, well, we need to win the league this season. We all know the importance of winning the league. But if he doesn't at least win a trophy this season, I think Gerrard would accept he's been a failure and he would go himself. And I think if he doesn't win in this season, he'll be off, I think.
I know that results mean a lot, right? But in my opinion, the job that Steven Gerrard's done at Rangers in the 3 years that he's been there has been nothing short of phenomenal. See, to get them to where they are just now with what he inherited, it's incredible. And if you look at it as well, Neil Lennon, he inherited Brendan Rodgers' side that were firing on all cylinders, and the team have actually regressed. So if I think Gerrard would have still been there this season, regardless, and I wouldn't be surprised if. And it's a big if they don't win anything this season, I think he'll still be there next season because he's got a board behind him that are buying into what he's doing. And he's got a fan base behind him that are buying into what he's doing as well. And I think the longer he's there, the success is going to come at some point.
Well, do you know what? I don't know if I'd be surprised if Gerrard does win the league this season. It wouldn't surprise me if he left then. And I don't know... Obviously, I'd be upset, but I would get the feeling, all right, this is what he was set out today. He's won us the league. Thanks very much, Steven Gerrard. That kind of thing. I've got a feeling, just the way we're playing in Europe, if we win the league, I think there's going to be clubs sniffing in a bit. It's going to be too hard for us to try and keep him at Ibrox. But as I said, I'd be gutted, but I wouldn't be, I wouldn't want any
See what you don't want. What you don't want for a Celtic perspective looking in on Rangers. If I was a Rangers fan, what I wouldn't want, the two things that you don't want right now is you don't want Gareth Southgate leaving the England post and you don't want Jurgen Klopp leaving the Liverpool post because he's going to be on their radars. And I know it might be, do you know what, I might be stretching it a wee bit here, but he's building up a fucking good CV, right? He really is. And all right, he's not won a trophy yet, but you can tell the way that he's going, his philosophies, the way he gets his team playing, the way he coaches them, the way he's obviously brilliant with the motivating as well. You know what I mean? I think he's going to go on to become a really fucking good manager. And like you said there, Grado, I think the only way that he leaves Rangers now is if Liverpool or England come calling.
I remember it was on Rangers TV, it was the Galatasaray game, and we had like a fucking star-studded lineup. Grado with Walter Smith on, there was Souness, McCann. I remember talking to when Gerrard came up after it, and he was talking Emma Dodds and that, and Walter Smith was there, and Walter says to him, you just need that first trophy, and then it'll come. It's going to come, just get that first trophy. But I think Gerrard knows himself, man. I think it's all fair and well what we've done, man, but at Rangers, you need to win silverware.
And he's mentioning that in every interview now, isn't he? He's going, Alfredo Morelos, he's breaking the Rangers record to the European goal tally.
Don't compare him to McCoist and all that.
He was more interested in going, well, he can start accepting plaudits like that once he's won silverware like Alan McCoist, so you can tell. And it's more than one occasion he's been on like that.
Do you know, I think he's got a wee hang about Morelos, but
Gerrard?
There's a wee hang there with Morelos, I think.
I think it's unhealthy, but...
Well, that's true, But to answer your question, mate, I think Lennon will be away at the start of next season.
I think Gerrard will be away if he doesn't win anything. But if he does win something, well, hopefully, man. I think you need to remember, Gerrard, I think Michael Beale's a lot of it. Michael Beale is a lot of the stuff that goes on in the training pitch and stuff. I think it's odd into Michael Beale.
What you're saying there about Michael Beale, that's my worry, Ross, with Celtic. Because I feel as if John Kennedy's actually the Celtic manager, right? And I know that might sound a wee bit foreign, right? But Lennon's no on the training ground, right? He's admitted last week, by the way, lads, after you're ripping the piss at me, he's come out and said, we had a meeting, right?
Brilliant.
And then he's turned round and said, which is something that I've not done for a long, long time. A meeting to go over the weekend
Wow.
of the European game. Now, why is a manager not there taking these things on? That's part of the job. What's Neil Lennon getting paid for? See if he's not in the training ground and he's not in the dressing room going over the tactics and stuff like that. What is he actually fucking doing?
Tol, I'm going to calm down, man. You're singling one guy out here, and it's getting a bit. You're just singling one guy out here, mate. I'm getting a bit offended with your partner here, mate.
I never made any personal attacks on the guy. I just want to know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, Ross, see, every time I glance at you, I just keep thinking Ian Correll.
Mate!
Oh, mate!
Every time I glance at you,
No, Grado, Red Lightning.
Red Lightning, aye. And do you know, I quite like your laugh. I like your laugh again, go.
Well, what do you call it? A day, a wrestling podcast with producer Ryan, right?
Oh, a day.
And I interviewed Rudo, and he was brand new. But I was once doing live tweeting for a wrestling pay-per-view, and Chris Toll tweeted me, and it resulted in thousands of Chris Toll followers sending me abuse.
Really? What happened
there, man?
Well, I put a
Does he
joke
surprise
up.
me?
There's a wee...
Polls get previews on social media, mate. Polls get previews.
There's a wee joke in our podcast. I love Billy Gunn. I think he's smashing. And Road Dogg clipped up. There was like a brawl, and Road Dogg clipped up, and I went, "There's that guy that owes his career to Billy Gunn." It's a wee joke. And Chris Toll...
Oh, don't slag your Road Dogg, my man.
So
He was my favourite.
Chris Toll responded, "I think you're talking rubbish there." So then I had a bunch of people that have obviously seen Chris Toll's tweet saying,
fuck's sake, man.
saying, "Aye, you're talking rubbish, aye." And then I started getting abused toward Billy Gunn. I'm like, I'm not actually Billy Gunn. I just tweeted I like Billy Gunn.
By the way, I love Billy Gunn, but Road Dogg was always the man in the New Age Outlaws for me.
Oh no, I love both of them. It was just to annoy people with the podcast because I don't shop about Billy Gunn.
You know what? That was my point about the social media. Somebody sees something and everybody jumps on the back of it, and it's a nightmare, man. But listen, that obviously wasn't intended, Ross.
No, I know
about that.
Ross, I'm really sorry. On behalf of Football Daft, we apologise.
It's been a long road, but as long as I've got an apology now, I think I can make it.
And obviously, I mean, we're really deeply saddened to hear of this news, and obviously we hope Chris Toll can learn from it and move on, and we will have a meeting after the show today.
Yes, a meeting. I fucking love a meeting. Thanks very much for coming on, Ross. That was a good question, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Ross.
See you later on, Ross, mate. Catch you after. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, there you go. That's another Football Daft Open-line done and dusted for the week. John said it last week, and I'll say it again. We need some more varied callers, more varied questions on this segment. We want River City fans to come on and give.
I know, man. Listen, see, just any fans of anything at all, man. I'm getting inundated with these Rangers calls.
We want flight simulator calls. People who do flight simulator.
And virtual background calls.
If you want to come on and talk about hair transplants, I'm your man.
At Football Daft, we want to help you out with this brand new way to beat the bookies, TradeMateSports.com. It's a new tool for sports traders that calculates the true odds of a sporting event and signals when the bookies make mistakes so that you can exploit them using value betting. In betting markets, there are a few market leaders that the rest of the markets follow, and TradeMate Sports have worked to identify these markets leaders, which has enabled them to calculate the true odds in different sport markets. The true odds being the odds that most accurately reflects the actual probability of an outcome. Now, because bookmakers often offer different odds on the same games, inefficiencies occur in sports betting markets. Their algorithm compares the true odds to the odds of more than 100 bookmakers to look for deviations, then signals these deviations in real time, enabling you to exploit them. Last week, Alex, the TradeMate Sports, picked a winner with goals scored, so here he is with a wee bit more information and a tip for this weekend.
G'day Football Daft listeners, Alex here from TradeMate Sports once again. Unfortunately, I don't have any tips for you this week, just because our model doesn't really predict any of the outcomes of international games or anything like that. But good news was last week we got 2 out of 2, which is nice. Both Chelsea scoring, the Chelsea game I think had 5 goals, so covered the over 2.75 and also covered the plus 0.25 on Crystal Palace. So 2 winners there, which is great. So I thought I'd just drop you a little bit more of an educational piece this week. So I wanted to talk about variance. So those 2 picks last week could well and truly have lost, and it wouldn't really had anything to do with my opinion or me just giving out a terrible bet and stuff like that. It's more just down to variance and the mathematical side of betting. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of education around that. Like, I could flip a coin 50 times. It's a 50-50 chance. It should be 25 on heads, 25 on tails. It's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to happen, maybe 20 times on heads and 30 on tails. It's a lot of randomness involved, even though it's a split down the middle 50-50 chance. So just remember that that although odds are very accurate at predicting the true odds of a game, there's so much randomness and variance involved in sports betting. You can only really judge your results over thousands and thousands of bets. So yeah, that's the good thing about TradeMate Sports. You can easily get in 1,000 bets in 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, go start a 3-week trial and start your value betting journey.
So get involved with TradeMateSports.com right now and support Football Daft by checking out the link in the episode bio, or heading to our social media, Football Daft Pod on Twitter, or just plain old Football Daft on Facebook. Let's get bookie bashing.
Football Daft's big question.
This week's big question was off the back of something we were talking about last week. Former Rangers, Falkirk and Morton defender Luca Gasparato has given up football to pursue a career as a tree surgeon in his native Canada. So we asked, what jobs should footballers do after they give up the game? What do you think, Troops?
Get into the media. Come on, podcast.
That's the best one, isn't it?
That's what you've. I think I look because 25 years ago they never had that. Really, today with football, what was it? Maybe getting into agenting, training, taking your licenses and all that. But no, if I was a young man, I'd be writing about it. See, just for example, right? There's Tony Watt still playing football, but he's already into Twitch and stuff like that. He'll be sorted once he gets, once he finishes football, because he'll have the gift of the gab and on it to talk.
Plus, he's been on the show as well.
He has been on the show. He's absolutely brand new. So I think something like that. But then remember we were talking to Andy Little the other week.
Hey, I've seen his Instagram quite a bit. He knows what he's doing, man, with all property game.
Aye,
he's fucking.
I've got a few ex-footballers on Facebook, and they're like Barry John Corr in particular is into the property game. You want to see the pictures that they put up. See, he flips them. Like he buys a house or whatever, does them up and then sells it. And see what he does with these gaffs, man. Honestly, God, I would love to be able to do something like that. Honestly, I really would.
And then you remember the guy I go and I played football with a few times, Jamie Mitchell. He does all finance game and all that. But there's so many things that they do that I quite. Andy Little's was really interesting. Even that Jamie Mitchell, and he was on all that stuff's dead interesting. Hearing a totally different side of what they're doing for football, do you know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of football players as well, they've got the options because if they're earning loads of money during their career, man, they can basically get into anything they want. Just it's all about using their money rightly, and it's like
See if you invest wisely while you're a footballer, then what you do after you finish in football is completely up to you. As long as you've got the funds to do it, if you played at a decent level, you know what I mean, and if you've been wise with your money. So it's not something that everybody can do, but definitely it's something that I would love to be able to get into, man.
If it was me, man, I was a football player and I was earning decent though, I'd well be getting the media side of it. Definitely. 100%. But the listeners have gave us some examples here. Ross Johnson says Shane Duffy could be a scarecrow as he moves like one.
Aye,
right, okay. You can be the next one too.
Great patter.
All right then. Rab says Lee Griffiths working in the Tunnocks tea cake factory.
Oh, these are lovely.
Oh, no.
Right,
okay.
There's William says ball and goalie would make a good holiday rep. This is kind of, this is poor here.
This is middle of the road, isn't it?
I suppose.
Joe.
Let's come on. The folk listening to the show, they've not got many options. They can't. There's nobody coming on here being serious. They all want to be. They want their day. They want their 15 minutes of fame. So let's just laugh at them, right?
Right. And Joe says former Falkirk player Denon Lewis could become a reality TV reject. Oh wait,
Jordan Gallen says Bilal Mojni would make a cracking boxer.
And I say Stephen Thompson would make a good representative for Burton.
That's quite good. Ian thinks sorry.
What? Sorry, on you go, Graham.
You
On
go.
you go.
Ian
Right,
thinks
okay.
Alan McCoy would make a decent gardener.
And Gordon Weir says Kevin McAllister could be a home security engineer. Oh,
I don't get that one, but it's a good one.
Is it not to do with Home Alone, no?
Home Alone reference.
Oh, Kevin McAllister.
I thought you would have got that, mate.
I should have got that. That's one of my favourite films.
So there we go. Get your questions in next week. Sorry if I've been kind of fast with this one, but there you go. Thanks to everybody that sent in their compilations of what you should be as a football player when they finish. That was good.
So the Pro Set playoff is back with piesports.com. You know, with Scottish football fans eating over 1 million pies a year, it's probably not the best number because I eat a quarter of those. We'd love to bring to your home a real taste of Scottish football in the form of our range of fans' favourites: Scotch, steak and gravy and macaroni pies. Ordering is done on the website via the Pie Stall page or by calling the SOS hotline on 0141 739 9999. Delivery of the pies is currently free of charge to a bunch of postcodes. You'll find them on the website, piesports.com, and deliveries will be made either Friday or Saturday of the weekend, and you can choose which day you get them delivered. So, playing for the pies today, it's David. How you doing, David?
Not bad, mate, not bad.
So
I get what you mean now, Grado.
It's cool. I like
it's on the radio.
it. It's as if he's phoning us for like maybe what's abroad or something like that, and it's like
maybe he does.
Aye, maybe he does.
We don't know what's outside that window. That could be the fucking Eiffel Tower out there.
To be fair, I was Motherwell.
Where are you calling us from? Was it Motherwell?
Motherwell. Aye.
Motherwell.
So I'll explain it. We've only just got phones down here.
Right, so David, have you had a
David, who do you
preference?
fancy?
Sorry, on you go, mate.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Who do you fancy playing, David? Myself, Grado, or Toll?
I'll go for Toll.
Oh!
Come on. Right, so are you a Motherwell fan, David?
Mate, I'm keeping it local.
Sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that.
Did you listen to Keith Lasley on the show?
No, I missed him.
Did you? Mate, what do you mean you missed them? You can fucking get them whenever you want. They're on the website.
I know. I know. My mom was probably watching that one to see the big silver top.
That's the same as Toll.
Housewife's favourite.
Aye, yes.
Right, so David, you need to pick a buzzer then. What's your buzzer sound going to be for this?
Good, mate. I like it.
You can get a better buzzer noise than that. We normally pull out a name from the hat, but he wants Chris, so we'll give him Chris then. Chris, what's yours going to be?
What's my buzzer? Well, going by the weekend, I'll say my buzzer's El Yunusi.
Right, so the rules are simple. I'm going to read the description of a footballer from the 91-92 Scottish Pro Set card set. And you have to guess who it is by buzzing in when you know the answer. If you do buzz in, however, and you get it wrong, you're out and the other person gets to guess it. So it's first to two wins. As you know, whoever wins gets the pies. So Chris is desperate for the pies because I know he loved them last week when he had them.
They're fucking dynamite.
They're banging, man. They're really
man.
good.
I never got them.
Did you know?
Has get delivered to the radio.
Aye.
Are you shitting me? Did you not get them?
No, because I'm not on the postcode area.
Oh, mate.
Alright, don't worry, David. They deliver to North Lanarkshire, mate. I'm about 5 minutes up the road for you.
Aye.
Brilliant.
Right, so I'll start this one. Are you both ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so first one. This guy's career began at Aberdeen, making his league debut in 1984. In his 6 seasons at Pittodrie, he won international honours at youth and under-21 level for Scotland before a £250,000 transfer to QPR in 1989. He only played 15 games before returning north, signing for Hibs, and after 2 seasons, he signed for the Saints in time to make his debut on the opening day of the season. Any ideas?
When you say Saints, which Saints are we talking? St Johnson, St Mum's?
Sorry, St Johnson. St Johnson.
St Johnson. Right, so he's went from Aberdeen to QPR, back up to Hibs and on to St Johnson.
Yes.
I'm El Yunusi.
Go for it.
Is it Keith Wright?
No, it's not Keith Wright. No. David, you get a chance.
A good shout there, though.
Does he not get to see the face now?
You can turn the card round if you want, David.
Well, the thing is, I actually don't have the card because I've been sent photos of the card. And
Ryan, can you do a draw? Can you do a drawing of him?
No, it'd be like stickmen.
Good. Can you Google him on your phone and hold it up?
Aye, okay, I'll do that. Then.
That's a good choice. Always
Where
think
are we gonna
outside
be,
the box. What would we do without Purden?
Right, I've got one here. I don't know if you can see properly there.
Oh.
Aye.
I don't know who that is.
No, we're calling it.
Nah,
Chris,
don't know.
Chris, you were very close. It's Paul Wright.
Paul Wright.
You're joking, man. People have been above Sonor.
So nobody got that one, so we'll move on to the next one. This is going to be a horrendous edit job, but I'll make that sound clever. So nobody got that one. So next one then. So this guy is from goal-scoring stock. His father, Tony, was a much-travelled centre forward in the 1960s. His career began at Coventry City, but after 5 seasons at Highfield Road, a modest fee took him to Portsmouth. His 22 league goals in an 83-84 season attracted attention of England and AC Milan. 3 seasons in Italy were followed by a spell with
El Yunusi.
Yep.
Mark Hateley.
Mark Hateley, correct. 1-0 to Chris. Mark Hateley, just going to finish off by saying followed by a spell with Glenn Hoddle in Monaco, and he was strong in the air. So 1-0 to Chris. Move on to the next one. So this guy was second top scorer at Aberdeen last season with 13 strikes, just one behind Dutch World Cup forward Hans Gilhuis. I think that's how you say it.
El Yunusi.
Yep.
Duncan Shearer.
Not Duncan Shearer, no.
He's been on recently.
So he played 15 more matches. He was rewarded for his efforts by being voted Scottish PFA Young Player of the Year.
Oh, I know who it is. I know who it is.
I must know who that is.
Has already won the Skull Cup and SFA Cup winners medals.
He's buzzed, Brian.
Yep, on you go.
Oh, it's got to be 1 or 2, and I'm going to go Ian Jess.
Correct.
Yep.
That's what I
Well
said.
played. Well played.
One each.
Because last week was Scott Booth, wasn't it?
Aye. Ian, remember the guys like it's Scott, and he's started to do with a phone. He's like phone box.
Scott phone box, Jess.
So here we go, boys. We've got one each then. So we're a shootout for the pies. Let's go for the third one. A shootout.
You said shootout, mate. You did say shootout.
I said shootout. Away you go.
You said shootout.
I said shootout. Away you go.
Just hurry up,
This guy made his league debut for Hearts while still a teenager in 1987 and established himself as a regular choice in the season 89-90, the season in which lifelong Hearts supporter won the PFA Young Player of the Year award. He's a Scottish under-21 honour and looks set for... Yep.
Scott Crabbe.
Scott Crabbe, 2-1
Come on. More pies for two.
That's all you fucking need.
Listen to you, you fucking flabby bastard. Anyway, David, again.
I'm quite offended by how you spoke to Graham there.
I knew you were going to say that. I fucking knew it. The second it was out my lips, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe after what I said earlier on, I just done that. But listen, David, same again, mate. You're welcome. You can have the pies.
Right, thank you very much.
Generous,
so nice, Tom.
That's very generous.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Look at me, I'm
David.
so nice.
Well played, David.
Listen, Grado, see if I ate all the pies.
Have the pies.
See if I ate all the pies.
Have the
See if I ate
pies.
See if I ate all the pies every time I won, I'd be the size of you.
And remember, get sorted with your pies for the games this weekend at piesports.com.
Whether your English team is Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea or Newcastle, the easiest way to watch all the English Premier League action this season is with ExpressVPN. Not only that, but ExpressVPN lets MD in the world get the cheapest EPL subscription on the market, because instead of paying for an expensive cable package, you can watch all the live EPL games and full replays for less than £4 a month on Peacock Premium. The catch? It's only accessible from the United States. This is where ExpressVPN comes in. It lets you change your online location to the country of your choice so you can access content that's otherwise locked in your region. You'll get access to all the 380 EPL games this season, plus hundreds of shows like Saturday Night Live, American Ninja Warrior, and Peacock originals such as Brave New World. I've heard that is top dog. Just fire up ExpressVPN, connect to the United States, and subscribe to Peacock Premium and just watch. So go to expressvpn.com/daft to get an extra 3 months of free ExpressVPNs with a 1-year package. And this goes for anyone, not just our international listeners. There's a whole lot of them out there. ExpressVPN.com, that's expressvpn.com/daft for 3 months. That's expressvpn.com/daft.
Now, let's welcome to Football Daft, a household name of Scottish football. He's played for the likes of Falkirk, Hibs and Rangers, and currently giant killing at Stranraer. It's Darryl Duffy. What's happening, mate?
How are you doing, boys? You all right?
Oh, this is such a catch, man. This is a catch. We're getting
the stars have fucking aligned, haven't they? The stars have aligned. What a result last night, my man.
Oh, timing couldn't have been better. Couldn't have been better. Couldn't have picked a better day to get on, to be honest.
And I imagine
for anybody that's not familiar, what's happened is Darryl's only went and put the winner in the pokey against Hamilton Accies last night for Stranraer.
He's just got Brian Rice's jotters last night.
He's ex-assistant manager, man. He's probably right now, time of filming 22. I'd say Brian's got a meeting at 2 o'clock, and I don't know. I don't know how you can love yourself.
Darryl, how does it feel to have scored the 10th goal against your ex-manager? The 10th goal this week against your ex-manager? That must be quite a bit of a stinger.
It felt good at the time. But as soon as the final whistle went, it felt dreadful.
Did you just realise, did something click and you went,
no, that could be like terrible for him, John. It could be like the final nail in his coffin type thing. Now, I actually went up to him. Like, if you see the highlights of your game, I actually went up to him at the end of the game. And like, can I shook his hand, gave him a cuddle, and said, "Sorry, Chipper." Chipper, don't worry about it, Duff. Don't worry about it, Duff. Don't worry about it. Away he went. I was like, oh man. So
away he went, never to be seen again.
Oh, I know.
But anyway, it's a brilliant result for Stranraer. But man, it's always good to hear stories like that in football. It makes it a wee bit more exciting. Good to see the clubs like that play well.
I think somebody said last night it's only the third time in Stranraer's history that we've beat a Premiership team as well. So, magic. Brilliant for us, and brilliant for the club. So,
it's one of the biggest results in the club's history. When you look at it like that, it really is. So to score the winner, what a fucking achievement, man.
I know, mate, and it's my first of the season as well, my first goal of the season as well, first for Stranraer, competitively. So, so magic, mate, magic. Hopefully we can kind of keep on.
What was the dressing room like last night before the game, Darryl? What was the team talk like? Because obviously Hamilton just came off the back and absolute pasting. We just like right in their faces right away, just get right in about them.
Well, it was a bit like, you know, they'll be wounded at the minute. They'll be hurting. So don't give them anything to kind of G them up and give them a spring in their step. You know, kind of get at them, get in amongst them. And if we can get the first goal, then it'll give us a real chance. And you know, that's the way it turned out. We done the dirty side, the basic side of it. Got right in amongst them. Didn't let them settle into their game. Got the first goal, leading at half time, which I think was massive. They got back into it with a set piece, but we didn't let our heads go down. And again, we kept at them and got rewarded with the winner. So it was absolutely magic from us, you know. And the boys were absolutely buzzing in the changing room that after. So that's what you want. Football managers that makes you remember.
What was the reaction to the Hamilton players? Did you kind of spy into them arguing with one another, or was it heads down, or was there anything of note?
There was a bit of, you know, we could hear them and sense that they were getting on each other. And one of the boys come off in the second half, and You know, he went straight past the dugout into the stand and stuff like that. So that, you know, we see that as players in the opposite team and use that to our advantage as much as we can. And you know, I think that's what kind of helped us, like, say, dig in and keep going and pushing for the winner against a Premiership side. You know, where I think any other time we'd have probably been quite happy to take it to penalties and try and ride our luck a bit with the penalties and get the extra point that way. But it was a good time for us to be playing them.
You know what? It must feel amazing to be the best Duffy in Scottish football.
I can't get roped into this. It feels brilliant.
Too late, Darryl. It's too late. You're in it.
You see,
I know. I'm a Rangers fan as well, so it's even better.
That's it, like fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, just because you mentioned that how good, because obviously we're kind of taking the piss a wee bit with Brian Rice, but me and Bob were always saying, love listening to Brian Rice on the radio and stuff like that. He seems like a really, really good guy, a right old school Fitbit man. What was it like working for him? Where did you play under him?
Falkirk. So John Hughes was the manager, Chipper was the assistant, and I absolutely loved it. Loved working with Yogi and Chipper. The two of them are amazing guys, so knowledgeable about football. Their knowledge in football's second to none, and their passion and desire for the game as well is incredible. And absolutely loved. I was there for 18 months with him before I moved, and it was one of probably the best, most enjoyable 18 months of my career.
It's like, we had John Hughes on this show a while ago, and I've heard a few people talking in the media. I don't know if it was Neil McCann talking about him a few weeks ago. How does he not got a job in football now, John Hughes? Like, how's he know? Because he is like, everybody here talking about him, they just can't say enough about him.
See what you're saying there, mate? When he was on the show, see his philosophies about football. I was like, how is this guy not got a job? Like you're saying there,
exactly.
Like the way he speaks about football, and he's so passionate, and he's got forward thinking ideas, which a lot of managers now don't have. So it baffles me how he's not in a job.
Aye, totally.
I think that's maybe what kind of goes against him a wee bit in Scottish football, to be honest. He is different, and he does like to play a certain way, which isn't maybe typically Scottish. So I think that's maybe what kind of holds him back almost, which is, it says more about Scottish football than it does about Yogi himself, you know.
Aye, 100%.
If he was a manager in Spain or Germany or Italy or that, then you know, I think he would be headhunted by top clubs and whatever country he's in.
Because he has got the same philosophies as a lot of the really successful managers just now. You know what I mean? So you're right, it probably is just the fucking fact that Scotland's a backwater and we're not willing to go forward with the game.
And I think even when you're
surprised when I went into Falkirk, you know, I knew Yogi the player. I didn't know Yogi like the coach. And I went in and he was all about pass. Everything was pass and keep on the deck and don't go direct. And I loved it. You know, that's the kind of football that gets the best out of my style as well. So I absolutely loved it.
Aye, because you think, I mean, when you hear him talking and stuff, he's infectious, and it's like, I don't know, he strikes me as the type of manager the players would want to play for him. They'd run through a wall for him. Do you know what I mean? The old classic phrase, man. But I don't get it, man. I mean, he's a character as well. You want characters in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. He's got everything. Do you know, he's got the whole kind of package that you'd want in a football manager.
Definitely, man.
I mean, he says he's not the best in front of the camera and talking and that, but I've seen him so many times, and I think he's a wee bit harsh on himself with that side of it as well.
I agree with you. I thought he came across really well when we had him on the show.
I think he comes across. So
he was brilliant on the show. He was excellent, man.
I'll need to go back. I didn't know he's had them on. I'll need to go back and listen to that. Actually,
it's a great episode, man. He's brilliant. It was one of the ones where we were on for about an hour and a half, and we hadn't even touched.
It felt as if we were on for about half an hour, didn't it?
You got about 10% for his career, probably.
Exactly.
I nearly went out the back for a kickabout after he had me.
But Darryl, you started off at Rangers, obviously, right? How was your time at Rangers when you were there?
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like, I went in at 16 full time, so straight out of school, in full time. Murray Park wasn't quite ready at that time, they were building it. So I was at Ibrox every day in the away changing room, getting changed and into the minibus and off to training. And then the second year was in Murray Park, and I'd never seen anything like this in my life before. You know, a facility like it with the pitches, the AstroTurf, the indoor AstroTurf, the gym, all the facilities under the sun that you could ever need for a football team, and 2 canteens upstairs and just everything. Do you know, it was incredible. So it was growing up. It was some experience growing up in that environment, and with the players that Rangers had at that time as well. Do you know, that was all the Dutch contingent: Van Bronckhorst and Arthur Newman, Michael Moles, Mikel Arteta, Gino Gattuso, Amoruso. Do you know, all the guys?
Is it Advocat as well that you...
Advocat, yeah. Advocat
man.
was there, yeah.
Tell us about him, man.
What was he like?
He was a bit... I think the perspective that people have got for the outside of him is a bit different from what it was like inside.
Aye.
Like, he had this reputation of youth, and being really good with youth, but he segregated first team and youth.
Aye.
Like, he came in and we used to kind of all lunch together. Whenever you were ready for lunch, you'd go up. First team were in there, that was fine. But he segregated it, and you weren't allowed in the dining room if the first team were in. You weren't allowed in the physio room if the first team were in. So he segregated from that kind of side, so you didn't get to mix with them the same unless you were promoted up to train and play with them. But like, as a manager, like, if you're in the first team, you know, he'd have been magic. Did everything for the players, and as long as you worked hard for him and that, you know, he would reward you.
Aye, because he has got the kind of, obviously the little general and all that, quite strict, quite that. Did you ever see any kind of run-ins you had with any of the players then when you were in there?
I didn't personally, no. I wasn't really up training with the first team when he was there. It was only kind of after he left that I did. So you hear stories about him having run-ins with players, but I never got to experience anything like that myself.
Aye.
So what happens at with Rangers then? How you let go? You pulled in at the end of a contract, or what happens there?
I had 4 years at Rangers, 16 to 20, and by my 4th year, Alex McLeish was the manager, and with all the guys, all the Dutch contingent had left, and Victor Andre Flood left, and it was kind of guys like Egil Ostenstad, Nuno Capuccio, that were in my final year there, and that was when I felt, right, I've got a chance, I've got a wee opportunity, I've at least been given an opportunity. There's guys like that who are incredible players in their prime, but were kind of coming to their end, and I was at the stage where I was kind of ready to be playing first team football. I'd been playing reserve football for 3 years, and felt that I wasn't really learning anything more, and never really got the opportunity I was looking for. I made 3 appearances for Rangers first team, and 1 in the League Cup, 1 in the league, and luckily enough 1 in the Champions League. But I mean, they were all like 10, 12, 15 minutes at most. So it was difficult to, in that amount of time, to kind of show what you were capable of. And by the end of that season, I was determined to leave and try and get first team football somewhere.
So obviously, Darryl, you're a Rangers fan. So how hard a decision? Because obviously you want to play football regularly. You see it's not happening at Rangers. You want it to happen at Rangers. So obviously you're a fan and stuff, and it's a big club. But how hard a decision was that for you to go, right, I just need to leave here, I need to get away from here? Must have been difficult as well.
It was difficult, but you know, I just had to put my feelings for the club to a side and just try and think of my own career, because I was 20 at the time, and you know, that's an age where you should really be in a first team and playing games, starting games for the first team. And I just knew that wasn't really going to happen at Rangers. So as soon as I went and met Yogi, and that was it. That was my mind made up for them.
Of course.
Hey, come on! You've played for about how many clubs you played for?
17, 18, something like that.
18. Right. Okay. Let me ask you this: what's your favourite footballing memory? When you retire, you've played one of these clubs, but what's the one thing you're going to tell the grandwins when you're young? What's the biggest day, the biggest event?
What are you going to tell your grandmates when you're young, Darryl?
When I'm young. Can I edit that out later?
You said what you got to tell your grandmates when you're young.
Oh fuck! When they're young, you know what I mean. When you're old,
being a Rangers fan, I scored a penalty at Parkhead.
I don't remember that.
That was with Falkirk.
Brilliant.
Fuck, I do remember.
That was with Falkirk. So that was the kind of first big stadium that I'd scored in, big kind of packed stadium that I'd scored. A first team goal in. So that's kind of always one that I'd go back to.
What's it like, man? Right, me and Grado, the biggest crowd I've been in front of is 7,500. Right, what's it like being in front of a packed Celtic Park and scoring a goal? It must be fucking dynamite, man.
It's brilliant, mate. It's so hard to put into words. Actually, the kind of feeling you get from it is so hard to explain it. But it's just pure euphoria. The hairs in the back of your neck stand up when you're walking in the tunnel, and the noise for the crowd. You're walking out in the tunnel, and then you get on the pitch, and for me personally, anyway, it was all blanked out. And then when the ball would go out the park for a throw in, or it would a free kick or something, then you'd kind of hear the noise in that again and take it all in again. And the game would start, and you'd be so focused on the game that it would go kind of almost quiet again. And you were just in your own head thinking about the game, and scoring a goal at Parkhead as well. It was to put us 1-0 up at the time too, and scoring a goal there in front of all their fans, and they're giving you absolute pelters. And it was down the Celtic end as well, and obviously in the programme ex-Rangers forward now playing with Falkirk, so straight away I was getting sticks straight away, whether I was going to be good, shite, didn't they score, I was going to get pelters anyway. So it's amazing, mate. It's amazing, and it's one thing I think I'll miss, when I do retire and I stop playing football, definitely.
What age are you now, Darryl?
36.
Right.
I have got another 4 or 5 transfers left in me.
Fingers crossed, mate. You never know, eh?
You've still hit the junior fit machine.
I know, mate. I know. That's one thing I've definitely considered. I spoke to a lot of junior clubs this summer.
Aye.
That's where the money is, my man. That's where the money is.
Wait, was it Buffs one of them?
No. I live in Largs now, so it's kind of Largs. Right. They've been great with me. They've been letting me in doing coaching for my B licence and stuff like that. So
where are you from?
Glasgow.
How are you in Largs?
My wife's from Largs, and because I've had her down in England, down in Wales, over in India, she was like, we're living in Largs, so that I've got my family network running about me when we moved back to Scotland. And I'm like, nah.
Nice place to stay, man, isn't it? Largs is beautiful, isn't it? It is, man. It's interesting, mate, that people, you're playing in what division are playing? League 2, right?
League 2.
But that players are considering junior football in it because there is money, there's backers running about. It's interesting, isn't it?
I know it is, but for me it's more a travelling thing. It's I roll out of bed and I'm on the training pitch. So we just alluded to there, I'm not getting any younger in football terms, and I was travelling to Stirling and Airdrie, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes one way and stuff like that, and my back was just totally stiffening up as well. So,
and the worst part about that is as well, once you've travelled the 1 hour and 20 minutes, you're in Airdrie.
I know, you're fearing for your life the whole time you're there.
Hey, Darryl, we better ask you about your Falkirk days again, right? Our producer John won't be happy, he's not here today, he'll be gutted. What was the dressing room like? Who was the big jokers and all that in the Falkirk dressing room?
It was brilliant. The changing room was brilliant. You'd all, a lot of kind of older pros So they'd all the old school banter. You'd like Scotty McKenzie, Fergie the goalie, Neil Scally was a right character. Craig McPherson, left back, just large on life characters. You know, couldn't get a word in edgeways in training and in the changing room. But good players and good pros as well. So I absolutely loved it. Changing room was brilliant.
That's what I think a lot of that's missing in football now, isn't it? A lot of that characters.
That's why we're so successful, mate, as well.
Aye, definitely.
Plays a massive role. Like if you've got good camaraderie and you're all together in the changing room and on the training pitch, like it just rolls over onto a Saturday, onto the games on Saturdays. So it's massive, mate. It's massive, and I do think it is missed a wee bit. You know, I think we need to find a happy medium somewhere between the old drinking culture and today's culture. I think somewhere kind of in the middle is perfect.
Today's culture. Right, we need to find a good balance between the drinking culture and the gear.
That is not the views.
No, absolutely not. Here, but you're talking about own teammates a wee bit that were there for pitching about Russell Latipi, man. I love hearing about Latipi, but so many players come on here and tell us that he is the best player that they've ever played with. And like talking about old school, I mean, apparently we see no the same in terms of the amount of, you know, he smoked and did he drink?
Oh,
aye.
Oh, aye.
But he, what was he like to be about? What made them pick? What made him stun out as like the best player you've played with?
Just his ability with the ball. Like I said earlier, you know, like he'd have 2, 3, 4 men round about him, and you would just fire it into him, foot height, shin height, knee height. He'd bring it under control. He'd manipulate it about his feet, use his body, because he wasn't massive. Russ was small. He would just manipulate the ball, and he'd take the piss out of people, to be honest, at times with the ball. And then he would do all of that, and that would be enough for some guys. He would just maybe knock it off to a teammate beside them. But he would do all that, and then he would zing a 30, 40, 50-yard pass right onto somebody's toe, or he would slide a wee through ball, inch perfect, weight perfect through for somebody. You know, he wasn't just content with just keeping it, and he was just incredible. Both feet as well, left, right foot.
I don't even realise. Sometimes I don't think it was appreciated as much as when you look back for the Rangers support. Do you know what I mean, Grado? When he was at Rangers, it's kind of like the guy was a phenomenal talent. Do you know what I mean?
He was lazy, but lazy. Like so, again in Scotland, like oh, he's lazy. Like don't play him. He's no right. He doesn't care. He doesn't try. But that just wasn't his style. He was for the Caribbean. Do you know what I mean? He was so chilled, so relaxed. Nothing fazed him. So
love that, man.
If he could have played with a pair of flip flops on, he would have, and he would have still been the best player on the pitch. No.
I love that, man. I love that.
How'd you wind up in India?
Oh, Alan Gow.
Oh, really?
Alan Gow.
Gowser.
Another one, man.
Gowser.
Falkirk again. Gowser was with me at Falkirk. And I've gone really well with Gowser, and we kept in touch. And he went to India for 6 months. And he came back, and he was playing down in England, same time as me. And whenever we play against each other, he'd be like, oh, do you fancy like going to India? Like, I was out there for 6 months, brilliant, like, go, you'd enjoy it. And I was like, nah. And then eventually kind of got more serious into the chat, and I was like, so like, tell me more about it. He's like, I went like 6 months, like stayed in a hotel, and I was like, do your missus not go? He's like, aye, my missus was with me, and I was like, oh, how did she go? And he went, oh, she hated it. That's why I only stayed for 6 months, but you should go.
I know the next question that's coming here. The next question off of Grado's lips was, what was the grub like out there?
Tell me. Come on.
Ridiculously hot. Like, I thought I was all right with kind of spicy food here. And I went over there, and oh my God, mate. Just other level. It's in everything. It's in everything.
Mate, I know, like, man. I roomed with I tag teamed with a guy called Mahabali Shira, and he was Indian. He would have mega curries for his breakfast. Mega curries.
Aye.
like potato curry at buffet breakfast and stuff.
I mean, pure built like a brick shit house, but that's what he lived on, was curries.
Like we thought we'd cracked it when KFC opened in Goa in my second year. We're like, yes, KFC, like boneless chicken fillets and Sprite and 7-Up and that, brilliant. And we'd go in, but they rubbed like a spice rub on the chicken before they covered it in the batter.
Even the KFC was so, is that right?
Even that, you would eat
I'll be
that.
honest with you, I'm here for
burning
that.
the mouth off you.
That sounds like everything I want to know about.
They put masala spice in the 7-Up. So drinking the 7-Up and it's tasting like masala spice.
Really?
That's a lie. You're talking shite.
I swear to God.
Yes,
I swear. And we used to have to specifically request to not have masala spice in my 7-Up. And they would look at you like you were an alien.
Wow, man. Wow.
I'm shouting in the back here. Here, this girl does not want any spice in his ginger.
But what was the style of football like then?
A lot more technical and tactical than it is here. Like I first went over and I tried to play the same way that I played here. 100 mile an hour and lasted about 30 minutes and was nearly dying. Needed oxygen and an ambulance and that to come and get me. Just because of the heat, the humidity. It's just a different. Like I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. So I had to totally slow down. And my first coach over there was like, look, you're doing too much running, slow down. When we have the ball, you do your work. And when we don't have the ball, you just stand. He says, you just stand and you get your breath back. I was like, oh, this is magic. Don't need to chase centre-halves and full-backs and drop into deep-line midfielders. No, this is absolutely magic. So, so I loved it. I took to it really well, and that suited me as well, because I was never the most energetic strikers anyway. So,
what?
Right up my
How?
alley.
Like, so you're saying that Alan Gow says to you should go to India, right? So, how did it come about? Did the team? Was he working with a team and then they went, right, we'll go and sign Darryl Duffy? How did the actual transfer and all that come about?
Well, he was still friendly with the agent that took him over there, a guy called Anuj.
Right.
And it was him, he was always on to Gowser. Clubs over there asked for a striker, a midfielder, a defender, whatever. And then Gowser would go back to him with players. And then they went back to him with me, and it was the club in Goa were desperate to get me over. And usually, like, a player goes on trial with a club.
Aye.
It was the opposite way around. They were like on trial for me. They were bloody doing that. I'd never experienced anything like it before. Like, they were going like above and beyond to try and impress me and to get me to sign. So, so that's how that kind of came about.
4 years you were there as well?
Aye, 3 years in Goa and 1 year in Calcutta.
No way, man. Wow. So you must have some pals, do you know? Do you still talk away to them? I
still keep in touch with a few of them, yeah. A few of them obviously still play as well, so you know, keep in touch and
not get any of them over here.
A few of them have asked if they could kind of come over and like train over here, but it's just difficult. And it's expensive as well for them to like get visas and travel over here. It is expensive for them.
Yeah, what's the deal with the money there? I don't want to get personal, but is it good money?
It's good money. It's not life changing money, but it's good money. It's better than you would get in the lower leagues in Scotland anyway.
Right.
But the lifestyle, like me, my wife, and my kids all went over there, and the lifestyle was incredible, mate. Especially in Goa. Like we'd never get anywhere near the lifestyle that we had over there in the UK anywhere.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Darryl, right? But see the money that you're earning over there, does that not allow you to live like an absolute king over there?
Aye, spot on, mate. Spot on. Like we would spend most of our time at a 5-star hotel called the Grand Hyatt in Goa. You should Google it after this, right, and go and look at the place. Like, unbelievable, beautiful. And the 4 of us would go there. I'd train in the morning. We'd go there at like lunchtime, like 12 o'clock, have a buffet lunch with like steak, lobster, all the seafood and that you could want. £30.
Masala spice by the bucket load.
Fortunately, there was no as much spice. We could go up to the chef who was preparing everything fresh and request for no masala spice and stuff. So imagine, it was the equivalent of like £30 for the 4 of us, and we could go up and have as much food as you wanted. The only thing you paid for was your drinks, your juice, and then after that you got complimentary use of the swimming pools, and there was like 3 or 4 beautiful swimming pools there, palm trees all around about it and stuff. And that was basically what we did for 3 years.
It looks tremendous, mate. You know, I think you see go now and again up and see these Virgin and BA websites and stuff like that.
Aye.
I know why you were there for so long, but you hear a player's gone abroad, but it's always just usually like a year, half a year. They go to China or somewhere like that. But for 4 years, man, that's really cool, man.
Well, after 6 weeks, I thought I was coming back home straight away, mate. Honestly,
aye.
Like talking about the food, like the first 3 months, I was in the hospital 3 times with like pure agonising stomach pain, and they were saying it was because of the spice and the oils that they use in the food. They're just saying that my stomach wasn't used to it. So I stayed 3 times in the first 3 months in the hospital. They would just give me like fluids and stuff like that to kind of flush out my system.
Aye, that's amazing, man. That's a brilliant experience, but that you always have, that you went earlier and done that. Do you know what I mean?
Incredible, mate. Like, let's say from a football and from like a life experience, it's second to none, mate. I couldn't replicate that kind of lifestyle with my family, because my kids were 1 and 3 when we first went over there, so not a chance I would have been able to replicate that kind of lifestyle in Scotland or England. You know, amazing.
What about like in like that the football team, mate? Was there a good night suit in India with your teammates and all that?
They didn't really do that the same. Like, there's no like the same kind of that. There's no the same. There's no pubs for a start. Gambling is illegal in Goa, so they've got like boats out on the water. So it's like casino boats out in the water. So if you wanted to do anything like that, you had to take a boat out, so you weren't actually on mainland. And there was a few kind of clubs, but they were quite far away from the football. Where the football was, so you'd be like maybe an hour and a half drive just to get to places. So, and we never really get that much time to go anyway. The schedule over there is quite hectic with the travelling and stuff. So if I'm
downloading Sky Bet app, I need to go and get a boat to put equipment on.
No, mate, you get ExpressVPN.
Close comes to your phone away for you, beat you with a stick.
Getting Laird for putting a Teraraki on at the weekend, man.
So how did you come back to Scotland? Was it St Mirren that signed you, or what? How did you go? Right, enough's enough. I'm out of here.
Kids were getting to, both of my kids were getting to primary school age, and my wife was kind of determined to get both of them into primary school and settled and start building up school friendships. From primary 1 for my youngest, and my oldest went into primary 3. So that was the main reason. St Mirren and Ayr offered me trials, because obviously I'd been in India for 4 years. Nobody knows anything about India or Indian football, so I had to go on trial with St Mirren and Ayr. Again, perfect for travelling. Largs to Paisley, Largs to Ayr, and both of them offered me a deal, and I picked St Mirren for Jack Ross. I'd been teammates with Jacko at Falkirk again, and it felt like a good fit at the time. So that's how St Mirren happened.
He's a good manager, Jack Ross, isn't he? He's a good manager.
His training's really good as well. Really, really modern. Really hard. Like really hard. His training, like physically really hard, but all with the ball. It's all with the ball. You know, you don't ever just run the guts at you with the ball, so it's good. His training's really good.
I could see him being a Celtic manager at some point. Jack Ross.
So could I, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at a big club and one of the big two in Scotland, or even one of the bigger clubs down south again in a few years' time.
Definitely. Grado's got something funny to say here, man. I can tell by his face. Like,
no, I'm just. Hold on.
Ah, yes.
I'm no. What are you trying to say? I'm doing.
You were something like that there.
You're ready to say something. He's at that hotel. I mean, you're still wanting that hotel.
He's booking that hotel and go right now.
Well, I was going to ask.
Was that a free buffet, please?
I'd take that all day long. I was going to ask you the biggest joker you've ever played with. Your biggest, the clown, class clown.
Neil Scally at Falkirk. Like, I've never come across anybody like him.
Right.
He's just full of nonsense all the time. Like, all the time.
He's sitting googling Neil Scally.
Go up, Neil Scally. Hi, mate. Him, man. He's fun. Does he?
I car-schooled with him as well, so I couldn't get away from him, man. I couldn't get away from him.
Aye,
man. He was
funny.
He was good. He was good when he was at Queen of the South, man.
He's fucking at it.
He's getting Wikipedia up, isn't he?
I can't believe he's only 5'11", man.
Poker face, Grado.
I can't believe he's only 5'11", man. He's a Capricorn. Did you know that?
Darryl, see when you look back on your career, obviously you're still playing at Stranraer, right? But when you look back, you've been at that many clubs. What was, from like a professional point of view, what's the most prolific and most content you felt in your professional time in football?
Probably the 3 clubs probably that I've been most successful at, and the team's been most successful at. So it'd be Falkirk, Swansea, and then Salgonka in India. And those 3 clubs all had something in common. They all had a good manager who wanted to play football, get the ball on the ground, play, pass and move. Won the league and the cup with Falkirk, won the league at Swansea in League One, and then we won one of the cup competitions with Salgonka in India and Goa as well. And they all had really good footballers, hard-working footballers as well. They didn't just rely on their talent. And then, like I say, we had a good manager on top of that as well, and good camaraderie in the changing room. I don't think it's any coincidence that all 3 of those clubs had all of those things, and I was successful personally and collectively at them all.
Brilliant.
What do you think with Stranraer this season? Do you think you've got a good dressing room there now? Do you think you can go far this season?
We've got a really good dressing room. We've been quite unfortunate with injuries and suspensions, and we've got 2 boys who've been in close contact with the track and trace app, so they're having to isolate for 14 days as a precaution. So we've been quite unlucky, but if we can keep our squad fit for the majority of the season, then we've got a real good chance. As long as we keep doing what we've done the last couple of weeks, we're working hard and we're doing the basics well, and then we've got the quality on top of the basics to cause teams a lot of problems in this league. So I don't see why we can't be aiming for the playoffs this year.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Right, mate. Well, before Grado starts googling more things about Scally and all that, right, mate, I'm going to move on to the 90-second Football Daft quiz. Every week we put our guests' football knowledge to the test. Are you up for it, Darryl?
Oh, Christ, if I'd known there was going to be a quiz, I could have studied or something or looked at previous ones.
Just stay with Grado's doing now. Go and get a computer or laptop or something and start googling shit, right?
Nah, I think you're going with this one.
Aye. So every week on Football Daft, we put our guest football knowledge to the test with a 90-second quiz. John Sutton and Chick Young are joint top with 15. We've got Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley tucked in behind with 14, while the good doctor Kenny Duker and Kevin Harper are just behind in third place with 13. Other selected scores include Jonathan Watson on 9, Ross McCrory 6, Mick Patterline on 3, and Falkirk manager David McCracken and Andy Little are both at the bottom with 1. Anybody on that list you want to beat, Darryl?
Andy Little and David McCracken.
Brilliant, mate, brilliant. Well, Producer Ryan, 90 seconds on the clock.
Yep, on you go.
You can't pass.
Can't pass, aye, can't pass. You must give an answer, Darryl, right?
That's my favourite answer. Gone already.
Right, are we ready, Producer Ryan?
Yep.
Right, here we go, Darryl. Who will contest the 2020 Scottish Cup final?
Hearts, Celtic.
What team does Scotland international Callum Patterson currently play with?
Cardiff.
What are Cove Rangers' home colours?
Blue and white.
Who are currently bottom of the Scottish Premiership?
Hamilton.
In what year did Aberdeen last win the Scottish Cup?
94.
Which two Rangers players breached COVID protocols?
George Edmondson and Jordan Jones.
What is the name of Stenhousemuir Stadium?
Oh, God. Oakview.
Who currently has the better goal difference, Aberdeen or Hibs?
Hibs.
Who did John Hughes manage directly after Falkirk?
Hibs. Wasn't Hibs, but Hibs.
From which club did Rangers sign Leon Balogun?
Brighton.
When you joined Swansea in 2007, what was the reported transfer fee?
200,000.
What was the score the last time Scotland faced Serbia?
Oh, dear.
Time.
1-1.
I'll let you answer the question. What you saying, Darryl?
1-1. One each. I don't know.
Right. I shouldn't have let you answer the question. Right, here we go.
Just mark that one as wrong then.
How did he do it, Ryan?
He got 7. So you get Celtic and Hearts. Sheffield Wednesday is Callum Paterson's team. Cove Rangers are blue. Hamilton bottom of the league. 1990 it was for Aberdeen, last time they won the Scottish Cup. You got Jones and Edmondson. You got Oakview, which I don't think you thought you got.
Wow.
The Aberdeen have got a better goal difference, so you never got that one. You did get Hibs. John Hughes went to Hibs after Falkirk. Leon Balogun played for Wigan, and you got 200 grand for yourself. So not bad.
That's not what you won for getting 7 in the quiz, Darryl.
What? That's a joking.
Piss take.
No, mate, 7's decent. That's good, mate. That's good.
That's good. I know what Barry Ferguson got.
No, Barry Ferguson was tap. He got 12. He was tap the league for a while, remember? Aye.
Stevie, pure take offence. I know, Barry got 12, right?
Darryl, honestly, mate, thanks for giving up your time. We really appreciate it, my man.
No problem, guys. Anytime. It's a
all the
pleasure.
best, pal. Good luck to your
It's easy for you, you stay away. Cheers.
Tell Neil Parry I was asking for him.
All 5'11" of them, I'll tell him.
All the best, mate. Cheers, Darryl. Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah,
Cheers.
bye-bye.
Cheers,
mate.
cheers.
Bye-bye.
Well, troops, it's came to the end of another episode. I must admit, Darryl Duffy was really, really entertaining. Nice to hear that he stays in Largs. So, listeners in Largs. Well, he's a caller, but you know what I mean. Well, PS,
if ever you're up at the beach, you've got somewhere to stay.
Okay.
Aye.
I'm actually...
And he's going to take you to Fishworks.
Correct. So, he has followed me on Twitter.
By the way, thank fuck you mentioned the other wife, or I'd have been worried for you. Run up to Largs, I'll take you for a Fishworks, big man.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Aye,
good show.
aye, he's good.
Plenty of clubs.
Aye, but winner against Hamilton Accies last night, man. Brilliant. Superb.
Exactly. Aye. Exactly, man.
Right, lads, so we all getting our Scotland hats on the night then?
Aye.
I've bought 5 big bottles of Birra Moretti. I'm going to pour them. I'm going to sit. I'm going to watch the Scotland. Hopefully get to a tournament. And it would just be nice to be there, wouldn't it?
It would be nice to be there. It's the only thing is, you know what's going to happen.
Serbia are going to pump us.
No, Scotland are going to get there. Scotland are going to get there, right? And their 3 group games will be drawn and they'll be played in Glasgow. And the fans will not get to go travelling again. It's a fucking...
Oh, fuck. I know. But mate, it's got potential to be a good evening. It'd be good to see him getting there, and like we say, man, we'll see how it goes. I've got 5 beer Amarettis. It's going to be a nice night regardless. So.
Yous will be looking towards the Northern Ireland result and all with Davis.
Aye, Davis.
They're one step away from getting.
They're in the same situation as Scotland, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see. Oh, before we go, but what's happening with this Big Brother story?
John's not here, mate. I can't tell him John's not here.
But that was your excuse last time. Come on, let's take whether he's not here.
Well, we there.
Aye.
No, listen, Grado, I can't because it's a long story, man.
See, to be fair, I want to work on this show again. You know, I want the work coming my way. So if I get told a story, John won't let me live it down if he doesn't get to hear it.
Oh, that's fair enough, mate.
Aye,
that makes sense, man.
So I'm putting my clever head on,
Fair enough. So, right, so I'm going to get dinner made and get towed into these beer Amarettis, and I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
I'm not making dinner tonight. I'm getting some delivered. So...
I'm making a pasta that I made on STV once.
Did you?
Called Grado's Pasta.
Fuck me, man. There's a big clanger to go on, man.
Aye.
What is it? Just pasta and cheese, melted cheese?
That's a Grado.
It's cheeky. It's a creamy chorizo pasta with mushrooms in it, which, by the way, I had to buy the messages for myself. I think I've told you that too, haven't I?
Well, Grado, why don't you cut up your cold meat and fire it in an oven?
There we go.
My wife's just put the chicken in the slow cooker. We were having a kind of homemade Chinese style chicken with fried rice.
When he's having it, about 10 o'clock at night.
Oh,
my wife just put the chicken in the slow cooker, so tomorrow night we'll have chicken.
She put it in when this podcast started, and you're too
it's
fucking part
it's fucking burnt.
6 hours ago. Right, boys. Do you know what, guys? I'd love to stay in chat, but I'm not going to.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't love to stay in chat. Catch you later.
No,
see you later, boys. Ta-ra. Ta-ra.
Audio Frontier.